Poverty is about not having enough money to meet basic needs, including food, clothing, and shelter. However, poverty is more than just not having enough money. The World Bank Organization describes poverty in this way. Poverty is hunger, it is lack of shelter. Poverty is being sick and not being able to see a doctor. Poverty is not having access to school and not knowing how to read. Poverty is not having a job and is fear of the future, living one day at a time. Poverty has many faces, changing from place to place and across time, and has been described in many ways. Most often, poverty is a situation people want to escape.
Here are some stats concerning poverty in Canada. 4 million people experience food insecurity. 1 in 7 people are living in poverty. That is equal to 4.9 million people. And 1.2 million of that number are children under the age of 18. 1 in 5 racialized families are living in poverty. Some demographics of people living in poverty include people with disabilities, children of single-parent families, new immigrants and refugees, and single elderly people.
The organization that we decided to talk about is Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity is a global nonprofit organization that helps families in Ottawa to build a better life for their children and also a place to live. The family that actually goes there, they build their own houses with the help of other groups. Habitat for Humanity is doing their best to help families to have like a decent and safe environment and affordable housing. As they say, everyone deserves a better life, and this organization is really based on their well-being of their clients, and they also show them like how to be stable in their lives, basically.
So, what intersectional population does this organization serve? Habitat for Humanity serves a wide range of people, from race to ethnicity to religion to sexual orientation to careers. So, the few people that it does serve in particular are Indigenous as well as veterans. They actually, when I was speaking to the staff member, they are trying to get more involved in those communities because there's a lack of awareness that people are able to access this. But other than that, they do serve anyone who does fall into the criteria needed for this program. So, but who is not served? So people who are not Canadian citizens, unfortunately, would not be served, and those who don't file income taxes or don't have pay stubs. So that would mean that people who work in the sex trade industry could not apply to this because you do need pay stubs to show proof of income. So that would be an issue. Those who have declared bankruptcy recently or have previously owned a home would not qualify for this either, as well as those who are immigrants to Canada who do not have their Canadian citizenship could not qualify for this either. There is a minimum of employment. From when I spoke to the woman, she was telling me 3 years that they would like to see stable employment for the main applicant. Furthermore, people who make less than the required income of $46,933 could not apply for this. So that would also be a population it could not serve, people who are living in more poverty. But other than that, they're very open to who they are serving.
Habitat for Humanity has different locations, which is one in Sittsville, one in Train Yards, and one off Maryville. The main location would be Train Yards at 768 Belfast Road. Since Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit organization, it's funded by donations that volunteers, business, service clubs, manufacturers, and many more offers. They do fundraising sometimes, but yeah. So most likely, they are sponsored from different organization and businesses.
Habitat for Humanity has become a global organization that continues to transform the lives of many families through building their homes. Along with owning a new home, there are many benefits that society members receive. Some of these benefits include the satisfaction of owning your new home. New homeowners will have interest-free mortgages that are better rates than mortgages through the bank. They'll be able to develop new skills such as home maintenance. So they will become a contributing member of the community and get to know Habitat for Humanity families. They'll also be able to have more opportunities for the children who live in these homes. What is unique about Habitat for Humanity is that not only do the new homeowners benefit from this service, other members of society benefit from these services as well. So some of these benefits include community members are able to volunteer and take part in building the houses. They're able to gain a sense of community working with others, and they get that rewarding feeling of helping others in need.
The selection process. It is very easy to apply for Habitat Home. All you gotta do is view the online housing information application video. You must have a total family income between $46,933 and $69,542 for auto residence. The children in your family must be under the age of 18 and be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. You must be somewhere that doesn't meet the needs for your family. Be employed but cannot afford a mortgage. You must be willing to contribute 500 volunteer hours, 350 for single parent families to help build your own home and to participate in other Habitat projects. So, there are 7 steps to becoming a Habitat family. First, you must submit your completed application either online or in person. The questions look something like this. Second, the Family Selection Committee will review your application. 3, the committee will only select families that meet the criteria. 4, a meeting will be set up to discuss and evaluate families. 5, families who are selected will be asked to enter the partnership program and will have to present their findings to the Habitat Board of Directors. 6, families are then assigned a set of family partners that are there to help them complete their volunteer hours. And lastly, 7, Once a house is completed and they have successfully finished their volunteer hours, they will then be asked to move in. Families who do not qualify will be notified by letter and could always reapply next year.
So what does this organization do well? Habitat for Humanity came to Canada in 1985 and now has more than 56 locations across the provinces and territories in Canada, with 3 of them actually being in the Ottawa region, so Stittsville, Train Yards, as well as off of Maryville Road. The reason this organization has seen so much success was because before they came in here, there was a gap in the market. So people with lower incomes or families with lower incomes were denied conventional mortgages from banks. So they were not able to become homeowners, which would continue the cycle of poverty because all their money would go just to be paying off rent. And they weren't able to save any money to go later on buy a home. So they're stuck in this loop. Habitat for Humanity came in and offered a program for its applicants that would, instead of paying a continuous rent, they would build these homes and offer them an interest-free mortgage. In the sense that families that do qualify for this program would go 25% of their total household income would go towards paying the rent, which would then pay off what they owe on the house. So once they're completed this and they paid that money to Habitat for Humanity, they own their house. It's now theirs. So it's a way to break that cycle of poverty and give future generations, these children of these families, a way out that offer them safe and secure homes. So they do that incredibly well. Another great thing about this organization is also that they do accommodate physical disabilities. So let's say someone in the family or one of the children's or parents is in wheelchairs, they will build them ramps and they'll make the house accommodating for that individual to be able to live there. So that's great for them to do that. All right, so moving on to point number 2, what they don't do well. Well, they don't do anything not well, but there is a limit to what they are able to do. And that comes back to, again, resources, funding. A lot of their money, if not all their money, actually comes from fundraising and private donations. So what they're able to make in terms of fundraising will dictate how many houses they're able to build. So because of that, they're not able to accept everyone and build as many houses. Another issue is finding land to actually build these houses, because you have to find the land somewhere, and they're not able to do that. It was easy to build a bunch of these communities because they don't build one house at a time. They build a community of houses at a time. So that is one of what they don't do as well, but it's not really the organization that's not doing it well. It's just hard.
Challenges the services may experience. So one challenge that the service might experience is that you have to meet a certain income to be eligible. This may be difficult for families because what if you're a couple numbers off but you were still in need? That means you'll still get denied for the service, which in my opinion isn't fair because a number shouldn't determine how much you are in need of a service. So what makes them unique? I feel like what makes Habitat for Humanity unique is that their goal is to build a decent and affordable houses for low-income families, which is amazing because usually the houses in those type of areas aren't so big or even taken care of properly. In my opinion, I feel like others neglect that side of the community, which is sad to hear. Also, they work in 70 countries, so I feel like that is unique to hear because a lot of people can benefit from this, not just people in Canada, but people around the world. So what can they do to make sure that people access the service? I feel like what they can do to make sure people access the service is to advertise their organization in different ends of the city so that everyone is aware. Also, maybe try to reach out to all the other countries. It may be difficult, but it will be worth it at the end because you can only imagine how many low-income families there are around the world who are in need of this great service.